year 5 and 6. Mr. Stead and I thought we'd share some maths with you that you're going to be learning for next week. We're going to be looking at multiplying fractions. So for year 5, it's page 32, and year 6, this book for pages 22. Okay. So one thing we're going to do with multiplying fractions is multiplying pairs of fractions. So for example, a third multiplied by a quarter. Okay. So numerator is at the top of our fraction and the denominator is at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to, for pairs of fractions, we're going to multiply the numerators together. So 1 multiplied by 1 is 1, and 3 multiplied by 4 is 12, coming 1/12. If we then had 1/5 and 1/3, which is similar to a question in your book, we would again multiply the numerators together, which is 1 and 5 multiplied by 3 is 15. But the numerator might not always be 1, so Mr. Stead, over to you.
So if you've got different numerators, so I might have 2/3 and multiplied by 3/6. Same method, multiply the numerators together. 2 times 3 is 6. Multiply the denominators together. 3 times 6 is 18. So this fraction that I'm given as my answer isn't in its simplest form. So I'm going to look at the two numbers. I'm thinking 6 is a factor of 18. So both of these numbers are divisible by 6. I know that 6 divided by 6 is 1. I know that 18 divided by 6 is 3. So I can simplify 6/18 as being equivalent to 1/3.
Okay, so some of your questions might involve that. Other questions might involve a fraction by a whole number. Okay, so 1/3 multiplied by 4 would mean we would have 4 lots of 1/3. Okay, so these are equivalent questions. If I then think I've got thirds, the denominator stays the same. But how many of those thirds do I have? I have 4 of them. Okay, 4/3 is a top-heavy or improper fraction. So I then think, how many lots of 3 can I make from my 4? So I can make 1 whole one. And then how many thirds do I have left over? So 4 take away 3 is 1. Okay. And if I give you a question that is in your book, if we have 2/3 multiplied by 12. So this is a question that's in the year 5 book. 2/3, so I've got 12 of them, so I'm not going to write this out 12 times, but I'm going to think, how many thirds do I have? If I've got 2/3 and I've got 12 of them, I'm going to say 12 lots of 2 is 24. Okay? I'm then going to have 24 thirds, which is my answer, but again I can think that 3 is a factor of 24, so I know that how many 3's are there in 24? So hopefully you've said 8, and then my answer is 8 whole ones. Okay? And then moving on just a little bit, there are some questions which are a little bit trickier. So here we have 3 1/4 multiplied by 8. Okay, so Mr. Stead's going to show you the first step.
Okay, well I would start off by multiplying the whole numbers together. So I'd say 3 multiplied by 8 equals 24.
Okay, so that's multiplying the whole number by the number that you're multiplying by. I then look at the quarter. So I then have a quarter multiplied by 8, which means I have 8 lots of a quarter. So again, I think, how many quarters does that make? 8 times 1 is 8. What do I notice about this? Numerator 8, denominator 4. So how many whole ones can I make? How many groups of 4 can I make? I can make 2. So that's 2 whole ones.
So the last step is then simply adding these two together. My part of the question was 24. Mrs. Faircroft's part was 2. 24 add 2 equals 26. There's your answer.
Okay, I think on Mrs. Stead's board we'll do one more just to make sure we're confident in that. Not to worry if you're not. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them onto Dojo. Okay, so let's have a go at 1 2/3 multiplied by 9.
1 2/3 multiplied by 9. So I've got my whole numbers first of all. 1 multiplied by 9 is 9.
And then I'm going to step in and say 2/3 times 9. So again, I'm thinking how many thirds do I have? I'm going to multiply 2, which is my numerator, by 9. So 2 lots of 9 is 18. I then have 18 thirds. Mrs. Stead's going to show us what we do here. So 18 thirds. We can't add 9 and 18 thirds.
But I know that there are 6 lots of 3 in 18. So 18 thirds is the same as 6 whole ones. So then I can add these two numbers here. 9 add 6 equals 15. That's your answer.
Hope that helps you. If you have any questions, as I said, please don't hesitate to let us know.
I've just walked across it without pressing stop.